headlines for agriculture around the world. Attacks in the Red Sea have now reached a point of crisis as U.S. missile strikes back at Yemen-based militants behind the attacks of ships. Many carriers are avoiding the area now. And for the first time, a ship carrying livestock was forced to reroute, adding anywhere from 10 to 14 days onto normal travel time. Just this week, U.S. launched its fourth rounds of strikes on Houthis in Yemen after Iranian-backed Houthi rebel drones struck a bulk carrier ship in the Gulf of Aden. The targeted strikes underscore escalating tensions in the region. As a result, the Red Sea is nearly closed off to travel for container ships, which is one of the main travel routes. The ripple effect is having consequences on the global economy. An update to a story that we first told you about last week. Farmers across Germany continue to protest tax increases, and the country's finance minister told farmers this week there's no more money for further subsidies. Farmers have been blockading roads, bringing Berlin virtually to a halt. The farmers are protesting the government's plan to phase out a tax break on agricultural diesel. Government officials say it's all to help balance the 2024 budget after a constitutional court ruling in November forced the government to revise its spending plans. This week, during a protest that drew thousands of farmers in Berlin, Germany's finance minister said, quote, "I can't promise you more state aid from the federal budget, but we can fight together for you to enjoy more freedom and respect for your work," end quote. Farmers are also speaking out against what they call burdensome rules and regulations. China's birth rates fell to a record low as the country's population dropped for a second consecutive year. Now it's bringing up more concerns about the strength of China's economy. Record low birth rates, as well as the strict COVID-19 lockdowns and COVID deaths, have accelerated a downturn in China's population. The National Bureau of Statistics says the total number of people in China dropped by more than 2 million to 1.4 billion in 2023. Now, while the decline was better than what the country saw in 2022, the 5.7% drop in births are creating concern. A cold snap in Ukraine didn't impact winter crops. That's according to government scientists assessing the crops. Ukraine's National Agrarian Academy says even with recent frost, there was no negative impact on the wintering of winter crops. The scientist calls Ukraine's crops in satisfactory condition. Ukraine grows winter wheat, winter barley, and winter rapeseed. And Mexico could be the next big destination for U.S. lamb demand. Building demand for high-quality protein, including U.S. lamb, was the mission of a recent U.S. Meat Export Federation trip to Mexico. USMEF, along with the American Lamb Board and USDA Market Access Program, hosted an event on Mexico's Pacific coast. It brought together suppliers and buyers from across Mexico, along with chefs and influencers, all to grow hunger for U.S. lamb, an area that USMEF says has the greatest growth potential.
Many of these distributors either weren't familiar with American lamb or they hadn't really considered it. But after our discussions and talking about our products and seeing the quality of it and understanding more about what their needs are and what our capabilities are, we see there's certainly an opportunity for growth throughout Mexico with American lamb.
Pfeiffer says the distributors they talked to either weren't familiar with American lamb or haven't even considered it. An outbreak of any foreign animal disease here in the U.S. would be devastating. That's why there are several exercises being done to prepare. But the solution isn't just complicated, it's emotional. We'll tell you why in Chip's Corner next.